Welcome back. I'm Kim Bailey. She's Fulyana Osborne. This is Inside Exec. And today we're going to talk about how to leave a job you love when you love working for the company and you love working with the people that are your work colleagues. And of course, my first question when I saw the topic was, why are you leaving? Why would you leave? So let's hear what she's got to say.
Well, there is a number of reasons why you could be leaving. One is just growing your career. And I know there's opportunities to grow your career in a company, but let me take you through an example that really happened. A person is working in IT in a certain industry, for example, and they're really top of their tree there, but now they want to experience that in a completely different industry. And therefore, the company they work for, which they have for years and loved it and all of that, is great. And the people are great and the culture is great. But they really want that new experience. And the new experience is more to feed their technology need, their ability to contribute in a different field, to learn more, because they went as far as possible. It's a great position to be in. It's sad because you're going to leave something you love and a company that you grew up in and helped grow and all the people and you appreciate it. But it's great to go on that note, because when you're leaving a place like this, what you're doing is, it's possible to have your cake and eat it. It's possible to have a company that's successful, the people are great and technology, and you had a good career so far. Sharing that with people, but when you're leaving and keeping some good friends is something you can take forever. The other thing is, which is really good, because it's different industry, it's not a conflict of interest. So therefore, you're able to think aloud and learn and all of that in a new place and in your existing place.
I'm always concerned when we think about leaving a job, you think that that's closing that door that will never be opened again. And I really like to reinforce that if you leave in the right way and your head is in the right place when you're leaving, then the door is always open and there's always opportunity, and you should always think about coming back to that place because it was so good to work for and the people were so good that you go out, you get this additional experience or knowledge that you think you need, and you can then come back at some point, because you might see that they need it or that there's a challenge there that you'd like to take on. And so it's not about closing a door and locking it. It's about moving into the next room, I guess is the best way to put it. So you've been in this room for a long time and you've learned a whole lot of things and you're comfortable in this room, but you know that you've got more to offer and that it's not going to be offered in this room at this time. And so you have to move, you have to find another room that you can go to. And as Fulyana said, it might be moving from the lounge room to the kitchen. So it's going to be totally different things that you're doing, still with that framework of what you know, what you bring to it. I'm interested to take it a little bit earlier in the process and to think about, how did you identify that you needed more than this job offers? And how did you identify it in a positive way so that it wasn't like, I'm not getting this opportunity, I'm not getting that, but to look at it in a positive framework enough to do the balance test and to say, yes, I love this organisation, I love these people equally, I'd love to be learning this. And so that process that you go through to determine for yourself that this is the path that you have to follow. So how do you do that? How do you not make yourself feel guilty about looking elsewhere when you know that you enjoy what you're doing and you know the people? And then having made that decision, how do you then communicate that so that you don't feel like you're justifying the decision that you've made or apologising for the fact that you have made this decision?
I think it's actually easier than it sounds, because you're not sitting there planning it. It kind of happens as you progress and grow. So all of a sudden, and I'm going to pick a manufacturing sort of example. So I'm in a company and I'm in a technology space where we make carpet cleaners or something like that, or we make gadgets. But all of a sudden, we've done that, we tweaked it, we got that, we're best in class, we learned and all of that. And as I'm working on that, I thought it'd be really, really good if I could apply this thinking and that thinking to gardening, then we could do that. Obviously, you would talk through with your colleagues and that, and you come to the conclusion maybe that this company is really not going to go into gardening, if I could just sort of artificial examples. And so what you've done in that, it was a natural way of getting to that point by yourself and to some extent now, the people in the company. So you kind of started your journey without you knowing and without they knowing. And so therefore, as that happens and continues, then your mind becomes clearer and clearer and clearer that, yeah, look, I've been thinking about that. I'm really passionate. I'll keep getting pulled in that direction. So you'll know by the way that it happens, whether it is as extreme as the example I gave or something not so extreme, you will feel it. And as you'll be talking to others, they're not going to have a shock. However, I think the most important thing is what you always talked about, Kim, communication. And that is, how are you going to communicate that? And in my opinion, tell it as it is, because you already, once you worked it out and then you sort of came to a clarity point, then say to them, this is why I really, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to work, but I feel passionate about it. I really like to give it a go. I love it here. As you know, I love working here and give examples of why you like it. If this company was to diversify into gardening, I wouldn't be leaving. However, that's not going to happen, and that's fair that it's not going to happen. It's right for this company. I want to go. And then back to what you said, I'm sure we'll get to work together another time. I would love it. So keep the door open, the communication honest, and tell them what it is. People do actually understand and respect that, rather than, oh, I'm just going to go. And even if you are going to somewhere else, no need to feel guilty, in my opinion. If you've done a great job where you have, and if you succession planning in place and help others grow and do all of those things, then you should look after yourself as well.
It's about being a role model as well. So you might trigger something in someone else that says, well, I've been thinking about that myself and now I can see that they've done it and they've done it this way. One thing I will say about the communication is that always put how well you feel about where you are as the last thing you say, because whatever else they remember, they'll remember the last thing you say. So if you said, I've really enjoyed working here and working with you people, but I need to do these other things for me, what they'll remember is the but and everything that came after it. But if you flip it around the other way and you say, I feel like I need to develop my skills in a different industry, in a different way, but I have loved working with you people and working here. What they remember is, okay, she's going to do this other stuff, but she loves us. You know, we've been good. We've done the right thing. She's not leaving because she doesn't like us. And that's important in terms of them accepting the process and thinking about what's happening in a positive way, rather than on the defensive or worried or paranoid about what they might have done wrong or what they should have done better that would have kept you in that role. Well, I think we've covered that as much as we need to give you some things to think about. It's, for my part, it's always about the communication. It's about getting the communication in sequence the right way, so that what the result is in terms of that communication is that people think about the situation as it relates to them in a positive manner. So that's how you can leave your job that you love and the people you love and still leave the door open. Yeah. For now, I'm Kim Bailey. She's Fulyana Osborne, and this is Inside Exec.